Coach Credential Prep course, we focus a lot on themes or those mental mistakes that are very common in coaching. They are, again, not to be diagnosed or to, consider them fact. If you hear one, if you hear, somehow some person had expectations that didn't happen, you just want to check it out. Simply saying it sounds like, you could even say someone who had expectations that didn't happen for them. That would help the client distance themselves a little bit, but it also brings up the concept of expectations. Also, this probably the second, I'd say, most, common is the idea of comparison. It's interesting. Comparison is the thief of joy. Teddy Roosevelt said that. I think it's very true. It's the thief of joy. When your client or you, because coaches tend to compare themselves with other coaches and as a result lose confidence, think about, why are you comparing? What does it do for you? Sometimes it's good. It helps you excel and progress and be competitive. But in other times, it does the very opposite. So often as a coach, when someone is comparing themselves to someone else, I might ask, so how are you grounding this comparison? Looking for evidence. And once you compare yourself to someone, it limits their empathy. And empathy leads us to other possibilities. If I can understand where someone's coming from in a relationship that might be the very subject of your coaching, then it's encouraging the person to say, well, what would it be like to step into their shoes? And then my favorite with comparison, sometimes people say, she can do it, I can do it, why can't I do it? But they might also compare a current situation to a past situation and not taking into consideration, they're different, and the circumstances might not be exactly as they were. So bringing that forward as a coach. So what does this sound like? This is all about observing something and sharing it with your client. Sounds like there's a comparison going on here. What do you think? Or you can even be more bold. It sounds like comparison does something for you. What might that be? See how it gets right into the perspective or the mindset that's really getting in their way? In our course, we take coaching scenarios and we look at the very first blurb that a client says, and we look for the mental mistake. What mindset could be contributing to their disharmony, discomfort, stuckness? And once you get really agile at that and you can bring it up, you reflect back what you just heard, and often people go into a second question, which is like, am I right? Tell me more or describe for me. I think you can really elevate beyond that by saying, it sounds like someone who is very disappointed. Or it sounds like you had one idea and then the other thing really didn't happen. Just pointing those things out. It's observation. You're not making a judgment.